Hi guys, I chose to do my comparative study paper on Mexico's legal system. I do this by going over the Mexican legal system's history, their development, and the current state of the legal system. I also go over some of the sources of law found in Mexico compared to the United States. I talk about the criminal and civil procedure of Mexico, and I conclude my paper by talking about a case that happened in Mexico, uh, the process, the result, and how it would have been tried here in the United States. Mexico got its independence from Spain on September 16th, 1810. America got its independence from Europe on July 4th, 1776. Mexico uses a civil law system, while the United States uses a common law legal system. The main difference between these two systems is that common law uses case law in the form of published judicial opinions, and civil law uses codified statutes and ordinance to rule the land. In Mexico, in order to become an attorney, you need to obtain what's known as a licenciatura en derechos, which is equivalent to a bachelor's degree in civil rights. In the United States, in order to become an attorney, you need to graduate with a bachelor's degree. You may have to take the LSAT, or you go to law school, graduate from law school, pass the bar, then you can be considered an attorney. Mexico's legal system is much different. You only need 5 years of undergraduate study in civil rights, and you can go ahead and apply for your license in attorney. Attorneys in Mexico and in the United States both have the duties to uphold their clients' best interests and to advocate for their client's position. However, their roles do differ based on the process found in both legal systems. American lawyers practice law in a common law legal system, while Mexican lawyers practice using a civil law system. Judges also play a different role in both countries. Mexican judges take an inquisitorial approach and use the applicable code to decide cases. American judges use an adversarial approach. They take the role of a neutral third party and use the principle of stare decisis to adjudicate. In Mexico, law is not judge-made. The closest thing that Mexico has to case law is a notion called jurisprudencia. They also do not have judge-written opinion. Instead, they use what's known as doctrina, which are legal treaties authored by legal scholars. I go into detail in my paper about this. There are also some similarities found in Mexico's legal system as well as the U.S. For example, the Mexican judiciary is under a tier system. The Supreme Court is the highest of all courts. The Supreme Court in Mexico is known as the Suprema Corte de Justicia de la Nación. And the Supreme Court in Mexico is also responsible for affirming constitutionalism. Civil procedure in Mexico legal system is quite different from civil procedure in the United States. For example, processes are never public and all processes are written. They are not oral. Criminal procedure in Mexico has changed since the new amendments of 2008. In the past, criminal procedure was used an inquisitorial approach. They used the notion of guilty until proven innocent, and the managing judge was not, his presence was not physically required at trial. In addition, physical evidence was not required, and the infrastructure of the courts were outdated. After the amendments of 2008, all that changed. Mexico implemented an adversarial approach to criminal procedure. They adopted a notion of innocent until proven guilty. And the presence of the managing judge was required at trial. Mexican government also invested heavily in the infrastructure to match their new adversarial approach. The sources of law in Mexico are the Constitution, legislation, regulation, and the norms, known as Norma Oficial Mexicana, and of course, Doctrina. Finally, in my paper, I discuss the Emmy-winning film Presumed Guilty. The film features Antonio Rodriguez, who is falsely accused of a crime he did not commit. He is eventually convicted of murder and sentenced to 20 years in prison. The film highlights inconsistencies with Mexico's criminal procedure. For example, the defense attorney was not allowed to question anything that was admitted in the file. The prosecutor's star witness gave inconsistent statements and did not mention Antonio until his third time speaking to the police. A forensics test that proved Antonio's innocent was not admitted. And the weapon, a forensics test that proved Antonio did not fire the weapon was not admitted. And Antonio had an alibi that was ignored and was not admitted into the case. I go over the case. Eventually, Antonio was able to take his case to the Court of Appeals and he won. And I just go over some of the similarities between that case and how it would have been tried here in the United States. Finally, I'd like to thank our professor for an incredible semester and the rest of my classmates. Thank you. I look forward to meeting up with you guys throughout the rest of my law school. Thank you.